Welcome back to Listertainment, the channel with the most deceptive name in all of YouTube. Today we'll be looking at another 10 weird fighting sports and promotions that try to create a unique selling point that would entice people to watch these new sports, and most times they have failed. I mean, it could be fun to watch them for a short time, but eventually they run out of the entertainment as you get used to that one single thing. It would be nice if promotions like the UFC would add some of these things just for one event or something in order to add a little more excitement, like a slap-off or something. But you can't make it stand on its own and have it succeed long term or make it profitable. Let's take a look at some of these weird sports. Let's start out with what is considered at the moment the most controversial MMA league in the world. That is the Lingerie Fighting Championship. You heard that right, girls fighting in lingerie. I don't know if this is a fantasy for most men. I know we all want girl-on-girl action, but this is not the type of action I was thinking about. Aside from what they wear, the promotion is also controversial because they don't have weight classes, which allows for the smaller girls to be thrown around like rag dolls. And as you might have guessed, the girls have to stay pretty as long as possible so they don't allow hits to the face while standing. But the ground and pound can get pretty rough, so they still gotta watch out. Pillow fights are what guys think girls do at sleepovers, and plus it's just fun to hit each other with something that's not going to hurt. But there are quite a bit of people that have made it into a combat sport. For example, the Pillow Fighting Championship, which features athletes with pillows that have handles on them in order to really land those really good cloud-feeling hits. Then you have this crazy one where they added another element, where you have to balance on a beam while hitting each other with different pillows. Next up is actually adding something heavy in those pillows to get some really good knockouts. We are all very familiar with the sweet science and how footwork can make or break you in a fight. Well, now there's a promotion that has people fighting without the ability to use their feet at all. No, they aren't tied up or on their knees. These are people in wheelchairs getting into boxing. Just looking at this person, you can see the moves from this fighter and how much they have trained with their wheelchairs. They have better movement and positioning than most boxers, even with them having to punch, defend, and move themselves around with their hands. These are freaking amazing people that don't just sit around, they go out there and kick some ass. There are some celebrities out there that we wish we could punch in the face, but the next best thing happened when somebody came up with celebrity boxing. Now instead of just celebrities getting manhandled one at a time, now we can see two of them getting destroyed at the same time. We don't really care who wins since these celebrities aren't the best people or are at the top of their games. We just want to see them hit each other for a little while. This is basically the last thing they can do to remain relevant, and as sad as that might be, it can be really entertaining. Pretty sure that we can all throw a punch and at least know what moves chess pieces can make. But now, try to combine them both and you will get a headache in more ways than one. This sport is based on alternating rounds of boxing and speed chess. You can win by a knockout or by a checkmate, but if that doesn't happen, you can also win by a time penalty and of course a decision in boxing. You gotta admit that this is brilliant, since players will have to think about chess after taking a massive hit to the head. And then while boxing, you're probably thinking about the chess match, which only distracts you, which will cause you to take the huge hit easier. It's a great idea for like a bar scene. I don't think it will go mainstream anytime soon. Now we have what is probably the saddest martial art of all time, if you can even call it that, and that happens to be shin kicking, which comes out of England. The sport is pretty simple. You grab onto your opponent's collar and then you start trying to kick each other in the shins. It doesn't get more basic than that, and the winner is the one who can take the most pain. Well, that was the old rules. Today you have to win 6 out of 10 matches, and then you have to wear soft shoes and stuff your pants with straw. Dang man, we are turning into bigger cowards as time goes on. But don't get me wrong, I will never participate in this, as me barely grazing the corner of my bed frame will make me cry for days. Rough and Rowdy is a promotion that is known for having the strangest fights and ideas you can ever think of. They also included small people boxing, and they call it dwarf fighting. I don't know why it feels like these people are getting abused, maybe because they look different, but they are just regular people who want to throw down. They aren't being forced, and although we have to admit that this is done for the spectacle only, these guys take this seriously and train hard to go in there and win the championship. This sport is called Major League Combat, and although it's not literal combat, where you are freely swinging at your opponent, there are times where the players hit each other or run into each other. Are they trying to seem a little tougher by putting the word combat in there? Well, maybe, but I still gotta admit that this is extremely difficult. I can't even juggle with my full concentration. These guys are trying to knock each other out of the game by making their opponent lose their bowling pins. Genrujima is a new promotion from Japan that has some very interesting rules that give all types of martial arts an ability to win. The arena is a circle and there is no fence. You win by knockouts, which allows strikers a way to win. If you get pushed out 3 times, you lose, which of course helps sumo wrestlers. And you can take people to the ground and are given 15 seconds to do your thing before you are forced to stand back up. It's meant to be the most exciting combat sport out there, and it does provide a ton of entertainment. Maybe they should be given more than 15 seconds on the ground. But if it's all about excitement, then yeah, the ground stuff can get boring for people who don't understand the skills required to fight there. The fog, that just provides a little more fun. Yama pit fighting was started by one of the founders of the UFC, and it included an octagon that had slanted sides that was meant to speed up the fights. By having the slanted sides, it would avoid the clinching at the fence, and also you can get up easier if you fall in that area, allowing for faster turnarounds and less time on the ground. It didn't last as there was only one event, but it was a very interesting design that might work better for people who get tired of fights with a ton of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or a lot of clinching. It would also create the amazing I have the high ground thing from Star Wars. Imagine all the crazy strikes that could come from the slanted sides. If you happen to enjoy this video, please give it a like and subscribe down below, and make sure to turn on those notifications. Giving the video a like really helps me out. I guess that these fringe sports will attract you on a thing like YouTube, basically to see them on a replay. I don't think you're necessarily going to waste your time tuning in live or paying to watch it, but if it's recommended, you'll take a look. Thanks for watching this video. See you next time.